Mike Harrah. Big Mike to most anyone who knows him. He's a guy who plays hard, races dragsters and Harleys. He's a stunt pilot too. You've seen his helicopter blow things up in the movies. And when he's not playing hard, he's working hard. He owns millions of square feet of real estate, including the building where I'm sitting right now. And he's got plans to redo this site. It's one of two major developments he envisions for Santa Ana. The other, the tallest building in Orange County. But is it ever going to get built? Well, Mike Harrah is here to talk about that and much more right now on Inside OC. Inside OC is brought to you by 5 Point. 5 Point is an independent real estate development company with assets under management across California. 5 Point is a proud sponsor of public television and community programming.
That's probably not going to work, but we'll give you a really good deal.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Well, hi, I'm Rick Reiff. Welcome to Inside OC, and I'm talking with the one and only Mike Harrah. Mike, great to have you on.
Hey, it's great to be here, Rick.
All right, so tell us first about your business, Caribou Industries. That's your company. What is Caribou Industries?
Well, Caribou Industries, I have 1,140 employees in 4 different states, Arizona, Nevada, California, and Hawaii. And I first started out, Caribou Industries doesn't really work in Santa Ana because there's not a lot of caribou here. But I first built, about 40 years ago, I built a hotel called the Sojourner in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And it's a caribou refuge. So it was, it only seemed right to call it Caribou Industries. Our logo depicts the Grand Tetons, the Snake River, and a very grand animal, the caribou. And that's how we got started. But the company itself, we are very diversified. We have everything from hotels to shopping malls to day-use beaches to marine stadiums. We mainly are contractors. We build high-rise buildings in Hawaii. We built the Pinnacle Honolulu. It's a 37-story commercial high-rise condominium project. And then we built numerous other hotels. We built a tremendous amount of stuff in the late 70s, early 80s in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, the infrastructure, the London Bridge, the hotel, the shopping malls, the golf courses, and quite a few other things as well.
All right, and then, of course, your biggest holdings are here in Santa Ana.
Today, they are. The biggest holdings that I have are downtown Santa Ana. We've owned and operated over 5 million square feet, currently operating close to about 3 million square feet down here. Most of our tenants are government in nature, whether they be the DA's office or healthcare, that type of thing. But the biggest things that we got going for the last few years is One Broadway Plaza. We have all the permits for that now. We have all the entitlements for that. It had to go through a referendum election, which took quite a while. And then we also have our latest acquisition is the Orange County Register building, where we're at today.
Right.
So being your landlord, I'm hoping this is going well for you.
And I'm hoping it does too, because you're my landlord, as you said. Yeah. But let me ask you, and we'll get into One Broadway a little more.
Sure.
But why Santa Ana? Why is that? I mean, as you've done resorts and things like that, what is it that you see that, frankly, not a lot of other people seem to see in Santa Ana?
Well, I was born and raised in Whittier, not too far from here, and so this is kind of like my own home territory. And Santa Ana has really always been the capital city of Orange County, and I believe, like in the 60s, it was the place to be. It is one of the most densely populated cities in Orange County even today, and it has a lot of good roots to it. It has a lot of good history to it. The education here is really good. So it has a great foundation to build on, and I saw that some time ago. When I first started building everything here was in 1995, when I started buying some land to build the tallest building in the history of Orange County. A big dream of mine, being a self-made carpenter, swinging a hammer for 18 years of my life, to build the tallest building in my own hometown area would be a great dream for me. Although It's gone through economic times, which has held up some things, a referendum election, all that. But now that we have all of the appropriate paperwork and everything to move forward, we're looking at probably breaking ground before the end of this year now.
Now, how do you feel when people, especially, wiseacres like me, hear that and right away they crack jokes? Because it's like a standing joke. Mike Harrah's building, you've been talking about it for 15 years now. So, you're saying the naysayers are going to be proven wrong.
Yeah, yes, they are. And it'll be a very glorious day for that. Thank you, Jesus. I believe that it's really, it's really going to be great. Because, the reward is even greater. I look at it as even greater. It's not something that everybody takes on, taking a building in the middle of historic homes, in the middle of Santa Ana, and building a building that's equal to 50 stories in height at 500 feet, having to deal with the FAA and everything else. But, I've been known in my life to do a lot of things, win national and world records in boat racing and ski racing. So this is just one more trophy that you just got to work hard at. Yeah,
and you're talking 37 stories, which again, it's in Orange County, that's a lot. I mean, anything bigger than the Matterhorn in Orange County is a big deal. So 37 stories. But, not everybody loves this idea. And, there's been some terrible things said about you in some media that you're going to destroy the character of this neighborhood. You're, railroading this thing through, and how do you respond to that?
I think the proof's in the pudding. I think it's going to help all the tax situation for people that live here. It'll lower their tax basis. It'll also improve the area tremendously by allowing people to come into the area. We're looking at about 2,000 employees coming into that building, an average of over $100,000 a year in income. They will buy homes. They will visit the restaurants, the shops, the stores, the downtown. And my big push now is a total urbanization of Santa Ana.
Do you have a tenant? Because that's a big deal. You need a tenant, an anchor tenant. Do you have one?
I do have actually 2 tenants that we're right now negotiating leases with. And because of confidentiality reasons, we have to kind of hold that back.
Can you give me any idea, like is it technology, is it financial, is it government?
It's technology.
Two technology companies.
Major technology.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, well that'll be interesting to see. Well, I think you've given us a pretty good idea of Michael Harrah, the businessman. There's a whole nother side to you, of course, and our own Scott Hayes discovered that side when he hung out with Mike recently.
He's clearly not your typical developer. As president of Caribou Industries, Mike Harrah has owned restaurants, hotel resorts, shopping malls, luxury condominium towers, and entertainment venues in Arizona, California, Hawaii, and Nevada. So Mike, by the way, thanks for showing up here today, man, and appreciate you flying in. Where'd you fly in from, and what's going on with this helicopter?
Yeah, today I just got through flying back from Lake Havasu, and Saturday morning today I left and was out in Las Vegas. I got 1,200 units of apartments that I'm building out there, and then we have a 950-acre subdivision that we're building, RV park in Lake Havasu City. And I commute back and forth between Arizona, Nevada, and California with this helicopter.
It looks like a limousine on the inside.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy in the back, although very few people ride in the back because I use it mostly as a driver.
And then can you talk to us a little bit about how you became a stunt pilot?
I've actually been in the Screen Actor Guild for about 25 years. I've been in the movies G.I. Jane, The Rock, Con Air, The Siege, Austin Powers 3, The Hulk, Terminator 3. Right now I have logged over 17,000 hours helicopter time.
At 6'6" and 275 pounds, and with a bushy salt and pepper beard that makes him look like an outlaw biker, Harrah cuts an imposing swath through the busy corridors of Orange County politics and multi-million-dollar real estate deals. And yet, despite being ranked by the Business Journal as one of the 45 wealthiest people in Orange County with an estimated worth of $250 million, in person, Harrah can be intimidating, yes, but also likable, generous, humble, and a bit of a swashbuckler.
This is a Big Dog motorcycle. Great little piece right here. I've got quite a few motorcycles. This one we keep at the airport, and we can ride it around when we come down here and relax a little bit. It's a great piece. I've been riding motorcycles all my life, racing cars, racing boats, ski racing, water ski racing, snow ski, downhill racing, pretty much a speed freak when it comes to doing some really great and wonderful things with sports.
You seem to be a self-made man. I mean, that term is thrown around a lot, but in your particular case, this seems to be true. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, totally self-made. Yeah, I was born and raised in Whittier. My mom was a school teacher for Whittier. My dad was a machinist for Water and Power. He pretty much taught me how to build anything. He built our house, he built the boat, he built the camper, he built all of our furniture. So by the time I was 18, I could pretty much build anything.
You also have this side of your personality that's very philanthropic, especially in Santa Ana, and especially education.
I really am a big believer that education is really first and foremost. And I have believed that for many years. Starting back about 16 years ago or so, I met with Dr. Ralph Opasek of the Orange County High School of the Arts and designed and built the Orange County High School of the Arts in Santa Ana.
How do you manage to manage all of that and this and everything else that you do?
Hand of the Lord. Had a very blessed life, and just can't say enough about praising the Lord in my life, about doing good things for good people and making good things happen and help the less fortunate as well.
And at the end of a day, at the end of a long, hard work day, when you have all your toys available to you as well, what is it you sort of reflect on most?
I've always liked to just turn around and look back and see what I've done, not only that day, but in my life, and see that I've done really good things and continue on for the next day.
However one sees Mike Harrah, there is no denying his bravado, his individuality, his passion for Santa Ana, or his colorful Hollywood-style showmanship in an otherwise bottom-line world of Orange County real estate development.
And I'm back with Mike Harrah. Well, quite a report there, Mike. And I got to ask you a couple of things on that report. One is Scott mentioned, your listing on the Orange County Business Journal. My paper just came out with its rich list, and you were there in the top 45 at $250 million. Our estimate. Did we get it right?
According to my wife, it's a little low.
How about according to you? How do we do?
According to me, it's okay. Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah,
right.
I believe. I think it's a little low for what's there, but that's okay. Yeah, to me, it's really never been about the money. It's about doing good things for good people, making good things happen.
Okay. We also, I love the helicopter. The stunt pilot stuff you do. I can't remember the name of the movie, but there's that guy. He's in a high rise, and suddenly he looks out the window, and here comes this helicopter. Aiming at him. Now, was that you? Was that you?
Well, it could have been, because I filmed a lot of B-roll film both in a Slicker, which is a UH-1H, a Huey, and as well as a Cobra attack helicopter, of which I own both of.
So you've done that. You've actually taken your helicopter up alongside a tower.
Yes, actually we've done it behind a hill too, where down below the camera's lower, and then you bring it up over the top of the hill, and all the guns and rockets are pointing at you.
Just think, when you get One Broadway built, you can do that all the time.
I can
if you
do
want,
my
right?
own.
Do you think you'll get permission from the city?
Maybe not the FAA, but yeah, we could do our own movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turning a little more serious about that, because you race, you do a lot of racing and a lot of flying and that kind of stuff. You had years ago, you had a really harrowing incident in the Sierra Nevadas. Why don't you talk about that a little?
Yeah, I was flying an S-71. It's a Sikorsky. It's known in the world of Vietnam warfare as the Jolly Green. It has a ramp that opens up in the back, and you can bring in vehicles and troops. Really large helicopter, and I was bringing it back from doing some movie B-roll stuff, and I was in the Sierra Nevadas at about 12,000 feet, and I got into what's called a leeward wind shear, about 110 knots of wind that came over the top of the mountains onto the nose of the helicopter, which created the blades to stall. So I had to put it into auto rotation. Except while I was in auto rotation, the trees are 100 to 150 foot tall, going up the side of a mountain next to each other. So there was no real place to auto rotate. So I had to auto rotate into the trees, which took out the main rotor blades, and then at the last 110 feet actually slammed into the ground. broke my back and both legs and both arms, dislocated my left shoulder, and pulverized my T10, of which I was paraplegic for about a year and had to learn how to walk again and everything.
Was anybody else in the helicopter with
I had
you?
a co-pilot. He broke his back too, but he's doing well as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it was totally the hand
But
of
it
the
didn't
Lord.
stop you from going back and doing it some more when you recovered.
No, matter of fact, when I had a turtle shell, this brace on and everything, and I was in a walker, I had a Bell Jet Ranger at the time, and I had a guy actually get me in. I couldn't get in all the way, so he had to get on the other side and get a rope around my waist and pull me in on the helicopter so I could fly it.
Wow.
But getting back on the horse is a good thing.
What do you do for a year? I mean, a guy like you, as active as you are, do you go crazy, or what do you do when you're kind of laid up for a year?
Well, I was in the hospital for quite a while in rehab, and I was building the Orange County High School of the Arts at the time. Got in a little trouble there. While I was doing that, I had to build it in a certain period of time to get the school in to keep their charter good. And so I couldn't sit up or anything, so they put the plans, they tacked them onto the ceiling, gave me a long stick with a marker on it, and I laid in the bed and made all the changes on those plans until the head of the doctor's group over there came in and saw me doing that and untagged everything from the ceiling, and we started all over.
They weren't keen on you
They didn't like
moving
that.
around like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the Orange County High School of the Arts. That's one of your causes. What are some of the things you're really devoted to?
Well, education is probably the biggest thing for me, and especially to give back with education. I searched, being a self-made guy, of, what I would like to give back to. And so back in 2000, I actually started with Dr. Ralph Opasek in the High School of the Arts. They had nowhere to go. They had lost their charter where they were at. And so I designed, built the school, and donated a couple $1 million to get them started. Of which the high school right now is one of the #1 rated arts high school in the nation. It is got 2,500 kids, 3,500 waiting in line, and it's probably one of the best things, the most exciting things that I've ever done in my life to give back to education.
It's encouraged. There's some other charter schools around there now too, aren't there?
Yes, I designed and built one of them. The other one was OSEA, Orange County High School, the Orange County Children's Academy, which is actually one of the first dual immersion school.
Where you learn, you're
English
being
and,
taught in both English
and
and
Spanish. Yeah. So it was really a great thing to help them put that together. The good news about putting these things together for education, especially in Santa Ana, is it adds to the fabric of the entire area. With all the schools, great schools that are here. There's Mater Dei, and there's Santa Ana College, just turned 100 years. There's the different things, KidWorks, which is great in the neighborhoods, doing different things with underprivileged kids. And then there's the Discovery Science Center and the Wooden Floor, and so many great things having to do with education here in the city.
On the other hand, there's tensions in Santa Ana. There's tensions over a lot of what you're doing because you're driving out the Latino businesses, and it's becoming the plan of the city is to make it a yuppieville, that kind of thing. How do you, and also some issues with the school system, some tensions on the city council. How do you assess all that?
I don't know of those tensions actually occurring. I mean, there might be some talk about it, but we're actually, we back a lot of the Hispanic action that's going on here. Their futures, giving them jobs, doing great things, working with KidWorks in underprivileged neighborhoods that are around here, donating a lot of things to help the Hispanic people. I think it's a great cause here.
So you like the multiculturalism of Santa Ana?
I love it. I think it's great.
Now, I notice also you call it Santa Ana. I thought that if you're really into it, it's supposed to be Santana.
Probably should be Santana, but being from Whittier, I guess Whittier or Tennessee is probably the same thing. Santana.
Okay. You look like, you hear this all the time. You look like you should be playing with the band ZZ Top. And in fact, you have sat in with the band. I mean, first of all, tell me a little bit why the beard, and then tell me a little bit about ZZ Top.
Well, the beard is because, well, I hate shaving, and I didn't want to, have Bic make a lot of money on shavers over my lifetime. So I haven't shaved probably.
Mike, you got the money. Come on, you can afford it.
I got the money, but I'm saving on those Bic razors still. So yeah, and I've been a musician most all of my life, bass, clef instruments, drums, and I think that's what got me started in the High School of the Arts and doing those kind of things, because I think they're very important in our community. ZZ Top, I know Billy Gibbons, great guy, great band. I sat in with a group, not with them, but the tribute group of them and different people.
What do you play?
Drums. Yeah. And I think it's really great. Bill Medley, also here, a Santa Ana guy. I sat in and played with him in a couple concert deals, drums. And also, the great thing about Bill is a wonderful man. He actually was my director for music and everything at the Pavilion when I built that here in Santa Ana at the OC Pavilion.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
So you know a lot of celebs with ZZ Top. Did somebody say, hey, you got to meet these guys, or how did that come about?
Actually, through cars. Billy Gibbons is a real car fanatic, and so am I. So
okay.
we met at a couple car events.
Okay, very, very cool. And you also know Jay. Speaking of cars, now I mean, have you been on Jay's show yet? You know Jay Leno.
I have not been on his car show yet, although I've talked to them about it. We're building one of the most powerful, largest semi-trucks with a 3,400 horsepower V24 engine, and we're just finishing that. So he wants to do a whole series on that.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk a little bit, we've referenced it already, where we are sitting right now. This is the KDOC studio in the OC Register building off of Grand Avenue, off of Grand and the 5. The Register is going to be leaving, or what's happening? You own this site now. What's the plan?
Well, I think the plan's a little bit open right now. When I bought the property, I leased back the building and the plant to Digital First Media.
Which owns the Register now.
Which owns the Register. And I think they're kind of up in the air of what they're going to do with the paper. Hopefully they keep the paper and continue on that legacy and the tradition here in Santa Ana, which is what I really wanted from the beginning. I haven't heard what they're doing with that. I would really like to keep KDOC here. I've been talking to Bert Ellis about making this MAGA media center and then filling it full of different media groups that would come in and take the entire building. We've talked to different schools about turning this into a college as well. We've talked to a couple big tech companies that we're talking to now about taking this building and the plant down the road and converted that into creative office space. Yeah,
just all together now, you own this site and surrounding land. This was all part of the deal when the Register was sold. The new owners, Digital First, basically flipped you the property and said, Mike, we're not in the real estate business, you are. So this entire site, what's your vision? I mean, this is something to rival One Broadway in its concept, right? You're talking about a lot of possibilities here.
It is. It's amazing, Rick, that you bring that up, because actually it's getting more attention than One Broadway is right now with these tech groups, because there's 15 acres in the back. We're looking at designing that into a couple 10-story to 30-story buildings that would have a hotel, shopping center type of thing, and then the plant and the building would be creative office tech space, and then we would also put in about 1,800 units of apartments.
What's your timetable?
Timetable's probably a 3-year period.
Okay, so One Broadway is going to go up before we see cranes over here on this site.
Yes, because of the entitlements here. We have the entitlements to build there.
Okay, finally, just to get back to the beard and all that, your persona, a little different than your average real estate person. When you're doing business, how do people react when they see you for the first time?
It's different. A lot of people, especially when they did the scenes for the helicopter when I flew in the other day, it's pretty amazing. A real quick story on that. I flew in to build a big project in Palm Springs years ago, and Sonny Bono was the mayor. And so I flew in a Huey, a UH-1H, and I had a suit on, and I landed out, and I walked in, and it was 110 degrees day, and Sonny comes out, and he says, you can have your pilot come in because it's pretty hot out there. And I go, well, I'm the pilot. He goes, really? I find that hard to believe. He and I actually walked back out, looked in the helicopter, and he goes, I can't believe you're a pilot. So there's different discussions.
Mike, you've got a million stories like that. We are going to have our open mic segment now, so maybe you can tell a couple more stories. But thanks so much. Great to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with those projects.
Appreciate it, Rick.
All right.
Take care.
So that's it for now. Thanks again to my guest, Mike Harrah, and to Scott Hayes for his report. You can watch this show and past shows by going to pbssocal.org or rickreiff.com. You can also catch our shows and our post-show open mic chatter on YouTube. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again on Inside OC. Inside OC is brought to you by 5 Point. 5 Point is an independent real estate development company with assets under management across California. 5 Point is a proud sponsor of public television and community programming.